is an exclusive presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.
Much has changed about the game since 1891, the first year these two teams met on the gridiron. Some things haven't. Pride, intensity, and the desire to best an old rival. Navy and Rutgers, it's next on ESPN3. Football on ESPN3, presented by Sprint. All football, no limits, only from Sprint. Live from High Point Solutions Stadium in Piscataway, New Jersey, this is college football presented by Sprint as Navy takes on Rutgers. Hi, everybody, along with former NFL safety Adam Archuleta. Dave Popkin, glad to be with you. Now, Rutgers is off to a great start, 4-1. That's because they have a terrific defense, top 5 in the country in many categories, but they'll have a stiff test today. Navy, the #1 rushing team in the land.
Navy, of course, running that triple option attack, the best in the business, 366 yards on the ground, but they're going up against a head coach who understands how to make things very, very difficult for them.
Alexander Teach is back for Navy. The senior fullback, the captain, served a 1-game suspension.
He was distraught. He was heartbroken and devastated that he couldn't be out there last week with his teammates in that terrible loss to Southern Miss. But make no mistake about it, he is going to be a huge boost to morale for this football team.
Rutgers will try to stop him. They have a very aggressive defense, first in the country with 22 turnovers.
Head coach Greg Schiano made a lot of changes to get speed and athleticism into this defense, and one player who has benefited is their linebacker, Kasim Green, leading this football team with 45 tackles, and he is going to be a focal point in trying to stop this vaunted midshipman rushing attack.
Okay, Adam, homecoming at Rutgers as they take on a traditional rivalry, the midshipmen of Navy. It comes your way next on ESPN3. College football presented by Sprint, the midshipmen of Navy. Traveling up to the Garden State to take on Rutgers today. Navy has lost 3 in a row. And their head coach is Ken Niumatalolo. He's in his 5th season. 29-17 is his record. Second Polynesian head coach in FBS history. The first Samoan head coach ever. It's been to 3 straight bowl games. On the other side, Greg Schiano, former national coach of the year in 2006, is the dean of Big East coaches. He's in his 11th season here at Rutgers. He can go to 500 on his career with a victory here today. And Adam, we talked with Coach Schiano earlier this week, and he said, we have to just pay attention to our assignments against this triple option. He has taken a more hands-on role with the defense, and that has certainly helped the program.
And it's paid dividends since he has taken over, and he's been an aggressive coach, bringing a lot of pressure. His football team is making a lot of big plays, getting to the quarterback, causing those turnovers, but it's going to be a bit of a different style here today. They can't blitz and become exotic against Navy. They have to play more vanilla assignment football and make sure they make tackles one-on-one in open space.
Jordan Thomas back along with Brandon Jones to receive the kick from John Teague of Navy. Teague, a senior from Hickory, North Carolina. Navy obviously a very wide-ranging roster from 25 different states. They're 2-3 on the year. Lost a heartbreaker against Air Force. We're underway, and that is a penalty. Navy, the least penalized team in the country, kicks one out of bounds. And so Rutgers will have great field position to get us going. Gary Nova, the starting quarterback for Rutgers, his 2nd career start. Freshman from Don Bosco Prep here in New Jersey. Never lost a game as a starting quarterback in high school. You can see he's already thrown for over 400 yards in like 2.5 games. The Wildcat has gone more of a pro-style offense now for Rutgers as they open up with 5 receivers and no running back for Nova. He's throwing, and it's nearly intercepted, but caught by Mohamed Sanu. First down, Rutgers at the Navy 42.
Well, Matt Warwick, number 51, the inside linebacker, almost had a gift. That ball was thrown right to him. But of course, his wide receiver right there, Sanu, on the spot to pick up the tip ball. That could have been a huge play for the Navy defense to switch the momentum on the first play of the game.
And there is a player down for the midshipmen. It was an 18-yard catch for Mohamed Sanu, the junior from nearby South Brunswick, New Jersey. And Jared Shannon will limp off. Looks like maybe his right wrist. So Gary Nova and Rutgers get a break on the first play from scrimmage. Nova enrolled over the summer to get a jump on workouts and classes here at Rutgers, so he is very familiar already with the offense. Now backs in the eye, and Jawan Jamison spins his way forward to about the 37. Jamison, a redshirt freshman from Stark, Florida. And here's the rest of the Rutgers starting offense. Martinek, the former tailback, is now the fullback. Sanu made the catch. Harrison and Jefferson, 2 top targets. Civil, Wynn, Ruck, Batari, and Art Forst starting up front. Second and 5. It's Sanu in motion. They've found more ways to get him the ball. Out of bounds near the 32. That's close to a first down. Here's the starting defense for Navy. Running 3-4. Jabari Tuwani is a senior end and their captain on defense. Jared Marks a late scratch. Shannon limped off with the injury. Warwick had the ball thrown to him early. Trevez Bush playing rover today. He's a key in the defensive backfield for Ken Niumatalolo. Martinek in motion. Jamison gobbled up by the Navy defense, and it'll be 4th down and about 3. Matt Warwick.
Coming into this game, the power O of Rutgers is a run that the Navy coaches were real worried about. They said they have to fit up those assignments in order to stop that power run game. Right there, Matt Warwick did a great job of blitzing the backside A-gap and making that play in the backfield.
2-yard loss for Jamison. This is a 52-yard field goal try for San Santee. The hold. The kick, it's on its way, and it's no good. Just a little short and right. San Santee, one of the best kickers in the country, 56 career field goals, but that was just a little out of his range.
This would have been a heck of a kick. It just didn't have enough leg on it. A little bit to the right. Now, Navy midshipman offense gets a chance to start the ball with pretty good field position.
2 yards longer than his career high of 50 yards. So Chris Proctor leads the Navy offense out there, the triple option. Proctor's a great runner as well. And he pitches to G.G. Green, who gets about 10 on first down. The midshipmen move the chains right away with the slot back from Columbia, South Carolina, Green. Chris Proctor, senior, rushed the ball for over 500 yards and thrown it for over 400 this year. Very dangerous. First down, Navy. Proctor spins, pitches, teach, leaning across midfield to the Rutgers 48. Got about 6 yards.
See right there, first 2 plays of their drive. Chris Proctor doing a great job of reading the option, reading the end line of the end man on the line of scrimmage, making the right decision and getting the pitch out to his running backs.
A dive up the middle. And Teach gets about 3 to the 45-yard line of Rutgers. It'll be 3rd and 1. Teach, a senior from Conroe, Texas. We'll see a lot of him today. He carried the ball 35 times against Air Force 2 games ago and rushed for 148 yards. Navy will often go for it on 4th down, so this is probably 2-down territory. Proctor keeps, he pitches, that's a 1st down and more for Navy. The little used Mike Stukel comes in and picks it up.
Again, we're going to see Chris Proctor right here. Everybody comes down for the dive, gets the quarterback. You see excellent blocking out there on the outside by Bo Nelson to spring that for a 1st down.
Stukel with an 11-yard pickup. Steve Boharness blows up that play in the backfield. Proctor dropped for a loss of 1. Boharness, one of the anchors of this defense, Adam, a junior and a real leader.
He's been a hard worker. He has excellent practice habits, 20 consecutive starts coming into this game.
On 2nd and 10, Rutgers defense is right there to stop the quarterback Proctor. Manny Abreu, a defensive end from Union City, New Jersey, with the stop. Here are the starters on offense for Navy. Alex Teach, G.G. Green, John Howell, also a talented back. They don't throw the ball much. Parker Cabral, DeMel the center, John Dowd, an academic All-American, and Ryan Basford. 3rd and 8. Proctor, the southpaw, is picked off. Brandon Jones. Navy turns it over. Rutgers had 4 interceptions last week in their win over Pittsburgh, and they pick up right where they left off today.
And this is a part of the field, 3rd and 7 or more. This is not what the Navy offense is built for. Here you see Proctor here looking down his curl. You saw an excellent break by Brandon Jones to leap in front of there and get the interception. That was brought on by being in a 3rd and long situation, something that this Navy offense isn't quite suited for.
First interception this year for the junior from Sicklerville, New Jersey. Rutgers keeping the ball on the ground, running the ball more this year than last. Art Forst leading blocker for Jamison. And a Navy player, Matt Warwick, down. Navy already lost Jared Shannon, a linebacker, earlier in the 1st quarter. Scoreless, 9:21 left in the 1st. We're back with more college football presented by Sprint on ESPN3. College football on ESPN3 presented by Sprint. Scoreless in the 1st quarter. Along with former Arizona State linebacker Adam Archuleta. Dave Popkin with you. Rutgers, the beneficiary of an early interception by Brandon Jones, gets their offense back onto the field. Scarlet Knights picked last in the Big East this year. They're off to a 2-0 start in 1st place in the league. Sanu in motion. Nova hands off to the fullback, Joe Martinek, and there goes Jersey Joe. Out across the 40 to the 44-yard line. That's a 1st down for the Scarlet Knights.
They want to motion Sanu and act as if they're going to give them the sweep, which gets the Navy defense to flow all the way to the left. Outside linebacker Jared Shannon was responsible for that gap. but he just didn't see Martinek slice right in front of him. That was a huge play for the Rutgers offense, something they need on the ground.
Martinek doesn't rush the ball much anymore. They have used him as a receiver out of the backfield. Their former tailback played with an ankle injury last year. His numbers were down. Nova throwing confidently across the middle. Caught by Mark Harrison. First down, Rutgers down to the Navy 35. 21-yard catch.
This is a part of the something that Navy has to do a better job in, and that's in their zone coverage. Defensively, their linebackers haven't been getting enough depth. That opens up that window for Mark Harrison to run that in cut right behind the linebackers. And you saw an excellent throw by Gary Nova.
Jawan Jamison noses forward to the 33. He got a couple. 44 yards rushing on 21 carries last week in the win over Pittsburgh. It'll be 2nd and 8. Chase Dodd was the starting quarterback the first couple games for the Scarlet Knights, but Giano with the quick trigger. He has given this team to the true freshman Gary Nova. So far, so good in that respect. Little play action to Deering. And Nova throws well over the head of Tim Wright.
There you see excellent protection up front by the Knights offense, something they haven't been getting from their offensive line. Last couple of plays now, the midshipman defense has tried to bring some pressure to try and create plays. But that offensive line, which has had a lot of different starting combination, held up pretty well.
Complete to Carazola on 3rd down. That is a first down, Rutgers to the 21.
Third down defense, something Navy did a terrible job of last week. Here you see Carazola, just a simple in cut right in front of the linebacker, but he gets some yards after the catch to be able to move the chains.
It was a total meltdown for the Navy defense. You mentioned it. 584 yards allowed last week against Southern Miss. Martinek. Joe Martinek diving forward for a first down to the 7-yard line. It's 1st and goal, Rutgers.
A little swap boot where they start the action. Martinek starts to the left, and then he kind of sneaks behind the line of scrimmage. Martinek, who is an excellent wide receiver, 1,000-yard rushers as a sophomore. There you see him leaking to the flat. Jared Shannon gets caught peeking in the backfield right there and lets Martinek catch the ball for a pretty good gain.
First and goal from the 7. Rutgers down to the 1-foot line. Savon Huggins, a 6-yard gain. He's become the short yardage guy, the freshman from St. Peter's Prep.
He has a sniffer for the end zone. Done a tremendous job so far this season. Anytime that they get down there in the tight red zone, 4 rushing TDs all down by the goal line. He's really starting to figure things out and get some pretty good production for the Scarlet Knights.
9th play of the drive. Nova diving toward the goal line. And he is short. It'll be 3rd and goal. Huggins will stay in with Martinek in the backfield. Stop made by Matt Warwick.
I would say right now, if you're the Scarlet Knights, you have to feed Huggins the football. And this is kind of what he's built for and kind of what he's shown you can do. I know your quarterback, you're going to try and get him in there on the sneak, but look for Huggins right now to power into the end zone.
Huggins takes the pitch. And he is stopped. A goal line stand for the midshipman. Wow. What a play. Wes Henderson, one of the defenders in there.
A great job by the midshipman. Watch there, Chris Ferguson knifes in there, which makes Huggins have to cut, and that was a huge play, huge momentum changer, something that this Navy football team and their defense desperately needed.
And they punched it out of there and recovered it. So Navy football looked like they just stopped him initially, but Huggins coughed it up. Chris Ferguson was the first one to hit him.
This defense, they need to make more plays, and that's what, talking to their defensive coordinator, Buddy Green, said, we have to make plays. Watch this. Going low, helmet, shoulder pad, right on the football. That's going to knock the ball loose, and that's a big-time play right there by your safety. Who's starting today for Sean Lynch in his first start, and that's what they've been seeing. He's really been coming on strong, playing some good football in the last few weeks, practicing very, very well, and he comes up big for his team.
So Chris Ferguson forced the fumble, and they're going to review it, see if he was down first. Wes Henderson came up with the fumble recovery, a junior from Wexford, Pennsylvania. Walter Davenport is our referee today.
The ruling on the field of a fumble has been confirmed. First down, Navy at the 2-yard line.
So Navy ball when we come back. 4:55 left in the first quarter. Midshipmen of the Scarlet Knights are scoreless. We'll be back. Dave Popkin and Adam Archuleta back with you at High Point Solutions Stadium in Piscataway on the campus of Rutgers University. Gorgeous day today, 66 degrees, sunny. Navy has it first down from their own 2. And they get a couple right up the middle with their senior fullback, Alex Teach. Teach wants to be a Navy SEAL upon graduation.
I wouldn't doubt it. This kid he epitomizes what it means to be part of the Naval Academy. He's such an emotional leader. He's a hard worker, highly, highly motivated and focused. I think he's going to make a fine Navy SEAL someday.
Chris Proctor hands off to Teach. Needed 6 and may have gotten it. Tackled by David Rowe. It is a first down for Navy. They are 2-3 on the year. They've lost their last 3 and a couple heartbreakers in there, including a 1-point loss to Air Force in overtime.
That was a demoralizing loss for this football team. And they started out very slow in that game. Let Air Force jump on them early in the first quarter. They crawled back. It really took a lot of air out of their sails going into that next game versus Southern Miss.
Bo Snelson tripped up by Jamal Morrell. And there is a Rutgers player down. Got about 4 yards. Marcus Cooper, nickelback for Rutgers, a junior from Bloomfield, Connecticut, shaken up. Cooper, a converted wide receiver.
Well, you can see him on the outside trying to fight off a block, and then his teammate comes in there, puts that helmet right in the side of the knee. That was Kasim Green running from inside out.
That looked pretty serious.
You never like to see that knee go into the that helmet go into the knee area, especially if somebody's running full speed. hopefully it was just a graze or maybe a knee bruise, you would hope. It's one of those things, of course, being a former player, you hate to see it because you know how hard everybody's out there working. You know what it means to be out there for your teammates and to get potentially pretty serious knee injuries is just one of those things that you just don't like to see out there.
Adam, Rutgers has moved the football pretty well here in the first quarter. They have 100 yards of total offense, but fumble at the goal line, miss a long field goal, and nothing to show for it.
They've been saying now for a couple of weeks that they feel like they're poised for a breakout football game. They've seen a lot of very positive things happen throughout the course of their last few games and in practice. Just a matter of putting it all together, playing that complete game. You saw the opportunistic defense giving their offense the ball and an opportunity to go down there and score. And quite frankly, when you're down there on the 1 yard line, you have to be able to cash that thing in. And that's something that if they want to be a complete game, play a complete game, be in a complete offense, you have to capitalize and score.
Sometimes if you're Greg Schiano or any coach and you roll the dice and you have a freshman as your quarterback and a freshman carrying the ball on the goal line, true freshman, these things are going to happen as they learn to grow and they get used to the speed and the contact of Division I football.
And I think Coach isn't afraid to make some strong moves and make some changes and give guys the chance because he's looking for that right combination. And you understand that there are going to be growing pains, but you don't want your growing pains to be on the 1 yard line when you're getting ready to go in there for a touchdown. That's something that you really can't have, but there's a lot of promise and a lot of talent on this football team. It's just a matter of putting it together.
Proctor looks like he's throwing the ball on 2nd and 6. Instead, he keeps and is stopped by Kasim Green after a gain of only 2. Green has been terrific, leading the team with 45 tackles, including 4.5 of those for a loss.
And you love to see that. It's being a big player, not just going out there and running down from sideline to sideline, but getting in the backfield, creating some plays, getting to the quarterback. They really love his speed and his athleticism. It really allows his defense to be very versatile.
Rutgers does not need this. Justin Francis, their most experienced defensive lineman, is in some pain, and he is down at the 20. It's like an eye issue.
Well, hopefully, for their sake and Francis' sake, it's just a contact. But you saw a few weeks ago what happened to James Harrison for the Pittsburgh Steelers with that orbital socket fracture. I don't think it's going to be that serious here for Francis. You talk about a guy that gets things done in the middle as a defensive tackle. He's just been on a tear lately. Been one of the most dominant players on this defense.
Francis, who just suffered that injury, 4.5 sacks. That's first in the Big East. It's also 14th in the country. Logan Ryan on the right, 4 interceptions already, and that's first in the league. He's only a sophomore, so he's got a lot of youth on this Rutgers team. Third and 3. Proctor on the pitch, and Rutgers having nothing of it. David Rowe, one of the first there to tackle G.G. Green.
Well, that's how you play the option. They went man-to-man coverage. You saw excellent fundamental assignment sound football right there by David Rowe and Marcus Thompson to string that play out, make the tackle in the backfield for a loss, and force the 4th down.
Punting situation for Navy here on 4th and 6. Closing in on 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. We'll step aside with 2:07 left in the first quarter. Rutgers and Navy, no score. Back with you at Rutgers. Pablo Beltran getting set to punt for Navy. 4th and 6. Rutgers looks like they're coming after it. 10 men on the line of scrimmage. Beltran barely gets it away. And Rutgers will have phenomenal field position at the Navy 40-yard line. Touched up by Max Blue. So Gary Nova, who's 4 out of 5, 65 yards, but is unable to score so far with a missed field goal and a fumble. Has much better field position.
What we've seen so far is a couple of defenses going out and make some plays. The last series, it looked like Rutgers was going to be able to get some momentum going, but because they didn't cash in down there on the goal line, here they are trying to get their first points.
Michael Burton in at fullback. Jamison is the tailback, and he makes the catch. But nothing there. Back to the line of scrimmage, maybe. Jabari Tuwani, the senior from Madison, Tennessee, with the tackle. No gain, 2nd and 10 for the Scarlet Knights. Nova over the head of Mohamed Sanu. The incompletion brings up 3rd and 10. Third down conversion. Scarlet Knights 1 for 3 today. And not that accurate for the season, under 40%.
And that's a number that they know and they want to get up. If you can hover around that 50% or greater mark, that makes your chances of success that much better.
Interesting formation here. And Nova throws complete to Mohamed Sanu. First down, Rutgers at the Navy 27. Sanu has become the go-to guy for this offense.
Well, he should be. Navy, the midshipmen, run a game up inside with their defensive linemen and almost get some pressure. But for the second time today so far, that deep in cut, when Nova has some time in the pocket to let develop, Sanu has been able to come down with a pretty sizable gain.
6 out of 8, 80 yards for Gary Nova out of Elmwood Park, New Jersey. Hands to Jamison. Jawan Jamison. First down and more, down to the 12. 13-yard pickup. Tuwani, one of the midshipmen, in on that tackle.
Jawan Jamison is a running back where, you know, they feel that he's been playing better and better as the season has gone on. He hasn't averaged a lot per carry, only 2.3 yards. I just feel like if they get some bigger seams up front, that's going to allow him to really do what he does best. Right there, the Rutgers offensive line opened up a pretty nice hole, and you saw what Jamison can do.
Time running down on the first quarter, and the Scarlet Knights will let it do so and switch ends. Navy nothing, Rutgers nothing here on homecoming in Piscataway. We're back with more college football presented by Sprint on ESPN. Along with St. Louis Rams former safety Adam Archuleta. Dave Pompkin with you. Scoreless here at Rutgers. You see the first quarter stats. Rutgers dominating in terms of their offense, but unable to score thus far. Burton in motion. Jamison the tailback. Jamison spinning his way toward the goal line and down at the 1. Jawan Jamison picks up 10.
You're going to see an excellent job of Jamison reading the line. Watch him as he starts to his left. He sees the cutback right there behind big number 77, Art Forrest. Makes Matt Warwick miss, and then he's down by the goal line. Let's see if Rutgers can cash it in.
No Huggins here. Jamison is the back. Jamison in for the touchdown. Rutgers strikes first. First touchdown of the year for Jawan Jamison.
Well, Jamison doing what he does best. Right up the middle, the power O. Desmond Wynn, his left guard, pulls and clears everything out of there, and he finds the end zone for the 5th time this season.
Michael Burton, the fullback, had a good block there as well for Rutgers. Sansanti, perfect this year, attempting extra points. And that one follows suit. 7-0 Rutgers. Early second quarter, Rutgers leads it 7-0 over Navy. We'll be back with more on ESPN 3. You're watching college football presented by Sprint here on ESPN 3. Back with you from Rutgers of the Big East, and Navy maybe of the Big East. See how things progress here over the next couple weeks, but it's been a tumultuous time in college football. There are reports that there are several teams that have been invited to join the league to save the conference from a football standpoint. Pittsburgh and Syracuse will be gone in about 26 months. So there are names like Central Florida, Houston, SMU, Air Force, Navy being circulated now.
It's an interesting time in college sports, obviously. Now, I'm a traditionalist. I played in the old Pac-10, now it's the Pac-12. It's going to be interesting to see where everything starts to go.
Navy brings it up to the 26-yard line. Darius Staten, one of the upbacks. Jawan Jamison with his first touchdown of the year moments ago from 1 yard out. Quick drive, 6 plays, 40 yards.
That was brought on by great field position, something that this offense has had the luxury of having throughout the course of most of this year. Of course, Navy with the bad punt to set them up at their 40-yard line, and unlike the first drive, they were able to capitalize.
Chris Proctor airing it out, and is there a flag? He was going for Teach, and there is no flag. He just fell down. Covered by Logan Ryan.
This is something that the Navy offense tries to do throughout the course of the game, is try and get some cheap down the field throws there. They run Teach out on a little wheel route. They try and match him up with the linebacker, Kasim Green. Green doing a pretty good job in coverage.
Second down for Navy. Proctor throwing again, and he does so complete out near the 34-yard line. Matt Aiken, a sophomore receiver from Roanoke.
Well, Proctor looks out there and he sees off coverage, so Aiken just hits the little quick hitch pass, moves the ball. Now they have a third and manageable situation.
Stukin, first down and a couple more out to the 40-yard line. Finally tackled by Pat Kivlahan, a backup linebacker.
This is a good thing for the Navy offense. They need to establish some sort of momentum. They have to get some first down in this drive, at least at the minimum try and change the field position battle. This so far, nice couple series of plays for the midshipmen.
Both teams utilizing their depth. Proctor keeps, and he gets 5 yards. Scott Valone, Justin Francis there for the Rutgers tackle. Proctor averages nearly 5 yards per carry, so why not?
Well, it's been a formula that has worked for this offense, and even if you talk to head coach Greg Schiano of the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, he says you're not going to completely shut down this football team. What you have to do is try and minimize their impact, hold them below their season average, and then make some plays and force turnovers on defense.
G.G. Green Stopped after a very short gain. Kiblehan in on another play for Rutgers along with Manny Abreu.
This is why the Scarlet Knights have been so good. Watch the defense running to the football. You can count 5 or 6 red jerseys right there running down the line of scrimmage to limit that run.
Navy 2 for 4 on third downs. They'll get a new play. Ivan Jasper, their offensive coordinator. And the hand to Teach. And he's very close to a first down. Might have missed it by a ½ yard, which will set up 4th and very short. And it is 4th down, just shy of midfield. Navy's going to go for it. Down 7-0 here, about 12 minutes left in the second quarter. Teach spins forward for the first down for Navy. Met at the line of scrimmage, but then kept those feet moving.
And that's one of those things that Teach is really known for. And always falling forward. Very rarely are you going to be able to stand him up at the line of scrimmage. Right there, a pretty good hole in the quick hitting dive play. When you got a guy who averages 5.2 yards, you might as well give it to him.
Proctor complete. A huge gain for Navy. John Howell inside the 10-yard line. His 3rd catch of the year. That goes for 39 yards.
And this is one of those plays we were talking about, where they keep getting you on the run play, the quick dive play. Then now you have one of your slot backs sneaking out of the backfield, running down the hash mark, getting behind the linebackers. You get a huge play for the offense. This is what this offense counts on, the hard running game and the deep play action game off of it.
Proctor on the pitch to Green, who is upended and falls on the 5-yard line. He got a couple. Navy's red zone offense struggling, 88th out of 120 teams.
That's a little bit of a misleading stat, and that really goes back to the last couple of weeks where they struggled versus Air Force and they struggled versus Southern Miss. But before that, they were 6 of 7 with 6 touchdowns in the red zone. So a little misleading.
Stukin, they string him out. Gets down to about the 4-yard line. Brandon Jones was over there for Rutgers, along with Marcus Thompson. It brings up 3rd and goal for Ken Niamatolola. 10th play of the drive. Teach into the pile and short. It will be 4th and goal from the 1-foot line.
And this is familiar territory. If we rewind and go back a week ago, David, when they played Southern Miss, the first 2 drives of the game, they came away with 0 points. In the second of those drives, they were down there 4th and goal from the 1-yard line, and they were not able to punch it in. Let's see if Alexander Teach gets the ball in a dive play.
Proctor with the audible. Proctor is stopped. Steve Boharnis.
Oh, what a great defensive stand. Marcus Thompson, number 48, slices in there and creates all sorts of havoc. Meeting Alexander Teach in the ball, and then Boharnis coming in to clean up Chris Proctor. Outstanding.
At Rutgers, and they just had a great goal line stand. Scarlet Knights leading Navy 7-0. 9:18 left in the second quarter. Chris Proctor changed the play, called his own number here.
Well, it all starts up front with Marcus Thompson crushing Alexander Teach, and then you see the whole right side of that Scarlet Knight defense blitzing. And then Bohan is coming up the middle to stop Chris Proctor. That's excellent, excellent goal line defense by the Scarlet Knights.
Navy first in the country in rushing. Couldn't get a yard there on 4th down, so they turn it over to Gary Nova and the Scarlet Knights. Jawan Jamison takes the hand and picks up 4 yards out to the 5. Jamison has accounted for the only scoring in this game, a 1-yard touchdown run at the beginning of this second quarter. And that was the key play on that 6-play, 40-yard drive. Navy player down. We've seen a lot of injuries here in the first half on both sides.
Seen two very similar types of games from both sides. Both defenses creating some turnovers for their offenses. Then you see 2 goal line stands. Of course, the midshipmen getting the first one, forcing that fumble when the Scarlet Knights were down on the 1-yard line. Then the Scarlet Knight defense rising to the occasion, matching it, and sending them away on down. So very interesting ball game. It's shaping up to be a good one.
We talked to Matt Brewer earlier this week and got a feel of his schedule and the average schedule of these midshipmen that have so many demands on them physically, mentally at the Naval Academy, outside of the football team, and it's really amazing what these guys are able to do. Gary Nova picked off. Navy has it for the touchdown. Chris Ferguson.
This is what Navy wanted to do, was get their linebackers back in coverage and try and disrupt some of those intermediate throws. Matt Warwick getting in the throwing lane, tipping the ball up, and then Chris Ferguson with another, his second big play today. First forcing the fumble on the goal line earlier, now coming down with the pick 6. Great defensive play by the midshipman defense.
John Teague has missed 4-point afters this year. That one is good, however. His 19th of the season, and we're tied at 7. Well, Nova tried to force it in there. You saw about 4 white shirts around the backup tight end, Paul Carazola.
And that's the second poor decision that he's made today. If you remember, on the first play of the game, he threw a pass that should have hit Matt Warwick right there in the hands, and he dropped the interception. And then here, making a critical, catastrophic mistake, throwing for the pick 6. But that's kind of what you get when you play a true freshman. This is only his second start of the season. Those things are going to happen, but you just don't want them to happen at the expense of 6 points.
16-yard interception return for a touchdown. Chris Ferguson, the freshman from Angier, North Carolina. Pretty rare that Navy will start a plebe, but he has been outstanding. Second defensive TD since 2009 for Ken Niumatalolo and the midshipmen.
It's very promising after the last couple of weeks defensively, giving up a ton of yards to both Air Force and Southern Miss. But they come out here and force a couple of turnovers, a couple of game-changing plays, really give this defense a lot of confidence.
The earlier turnover to which Adam was referring was a fumble at the goal line by Savon Huggins. Jones and Thomas are back for Rutgers. Teague handles the kickoffs as well. And that is a deep kick all the way through the end zone. Rutgers will start at their own 20. 8:35 left in the second quarter, so Nova will head right back out there. Just a 47% completion ratio entering this ball game, and the freshman is still learning. Got off to a slow start against Pittsburgh last week. Was great in the second half.
Well, he's done some good things and he's done some bad things. You know, he did a good job in relief versus Syracuse, leading them to a late game touchdown and eventually winning the game for them. But you're going to see that with a true freshman, and a program that started 3 true freshmen over the course of the last 3 years going to have some problems.
A little trickery. Mohamed Sanu on the reverse, and he picks up 8 yards out to the 28. They're saying Sanu, if he decides to come out, might be a second round, third round NFL draft pick. He has that kind of talent.
Like you said, they find so many ways to try and get him the ball. One of their most explosive playmakers for the Scarlet Knights.
A bruising run for Jawan Jamison. First down.
Well, again, their favorite play, the power O, but Jamison actually cutting the ball back. Hitting the backside A-gap. Getting a nice run.
11-yard pickup. The 9th first down for Rutgers. They have moved the ball with no trouble. Nova throwing, complete, close to a first down. Mohamed Sanu. Caleb King, one of the mids there for the tackle. That's a 9-yard gain for Sanu.
And I would anticipate the Scarlet Knights to start throwing more balls out by the sideline. So far, Gary Nova has made a couple of mistakes when he throws the ball inside the hash marks. There's a lot more to read. There's a lot more defenders. So now if you start to throw it out by the sidelines and the numbers, it limits the kind of mistakes that your quarterback can make.
And even size-wise, Adam, with these Rutgers receivers as they measure. Sanu very close to the first down. Just short by about 4 chain links. 2nd and 1, but the point is, these Rutgers receivers, Mark Harrison 6'3", Brandon Coleman 6'6", Sanu is 6'2", Wright is 6'4", and the corners for Navy are pretty tiny if you get them on the outside. Pretty big room for error if you're Gary Nova.
Well, you would think that that would be a huge mismatch and something that they want to take advantage of, because these Rutgers wide receivers do have that size, they do have that frame. And downfield toward the sideline, they should have that advantage.
Nova 7 for 10, 89 yards, and an interception. Martinek, the fullback. First down and more. Well into Navy territory at the 38.
See Martinek just kind of wind around that left side of the line of scrimmage. Looked like linebacker Bry French had a chance. He was responsible for the contained portion. Martinek was able to get around the corner and get that first down.
Finishes high school career at Hopatcong High School as the all-time leader in rushing in New Jersey history, nearly 7,600 yards. Savon Huggins is in for Rutgers, and he rushes up to the 35. Let's give him 4. So a lot of talent in this Rutgers backfield. They have a number of different options they have used here this afternoon. A lot of skilled players that can hurt you.
And it all starts up front, and that's where they've struggled. When you have all the different offensive line combination going back last year and even the year before, you're not going to give your skill players the opportunity to get their hands on the ball. You're not going to find those opportunities to get downfield or scenes in the running game.
Rutgers takes their first time out. We'll be back. College football presented by Sprint on ESPN3. Homecoming Saturday here at Rutgers. Scarlet Knights tied up with Navy, as we expected. A very competitive game, along with Adam Archuleta. Dave Popkin with you. Gary Nova. Hands to Savon Huggins. Huggins still on his feet and fighting for some extra yardage. Down to the 32. Got about 5 yards there. And Huggins is a rare talent, a great get for Greg Schiano and the Rutgers staff this year.
Really happy to have him. As you mentioned, one of the #1 recruits, one of the best recruits they've ever had at this Rutgers program. Just have to find some guys up front that can open up some holes, and so we can see what the youngster can do.
Third down, 7th play of the drive. Huggins tripped up in the backfield and shy of the first down. Jabari Tuwani, senior captain on defense. A tackle for a loss. He's used to doing that.
Well, he isn't supposed to do this technically on this play. They tried to run a power to the left side, but as that left defensive end, he just runs it down from behind, makes a big play in the backfield.
Rutgers doesn't want a 49-yard field goal try, so they go for it on 4th and 3. Nova. Good protection. Oh, incomplete. Wide open, Mark Harrison.
This is one that you have to have bootleg. You know they're not going to run it on 4th down and 5. But to completely leave Mark Harrison out there alone on the outside as a cornerback is unacceptable. There's nobody. The cornerback is over there inside of the hash mark. Talk about getting fooled. He thought it was a run play. Went to go run to the football and left his man wide open. The midshipman dodged a huge bullet right there.
Alex Teach rumbling his way up to the 46-yard line. That's a 14-yard gain for Teach and a first down for Navy. Wow, Rutgers had a great play call. The ball was in Harrison's hands. It was high for him.
Well, it was high. As a quarterback, you have to be able to make that play.
Chris Proctor, first down and more. There he goes. Proctor. Touchdown, Navy! 54 yards!
Wow, what a big-time run by Chris Proctor. Watch this. Fakes the dive, follows his fullback and tailback right up the middle, and then just outruns everybody on this Rutgers defense. Nobody touches him. For a quarterback to be able to split the defense like that, big time play.
John T connects. Flag down on the play. For now, it's 14-7. Navy. Proctor with an electric run, the senior from Big Bear, California. That's his 8th rushing touchdown of the year.
If we go back to Navy's defense, you know, they wanted to install a bend but don't break defense because they know they're going to be outmatched and oversized a little bit offensively, but they want to make offenses earn everything. They want to capitalize in the red zone.
Running into the kicker. 32 of the defense. It's declined. PAT's good.
And we've seen a couple of times now an excellent example of that bend but don't break, making the big play, causing the turnovers, and the offense has been able to capitalize on that.
Chris Proctor is some player.
When you talk about the triple option, that quarterback is so critical because he has to make so many decisions. He has to make so many reads in the pre-snap and on the line of scrimmage. Chris Proctor has shown that he is more than capable to that challenge.
Second in the country in terms of leading rushers amongst quarterbacks in the FBS. Second only to the shoelace man, Denard Robinson from Michigan.
Pretty good company. Denard Robinson, obviously a tremendous athlete. Chris Proctor is brilliant at running this triple option. Makes great decisions. He's a big-time runner when he gets the ball in the open field.
Rutgers and Navy, very contentious series over the years. Friendly but even. 11-11 is the all-time series plus one tie. So Navy not a huge underdog in a game like this, even though Rutgers did come in with a 4-1 record. Rutgers has to pick it up at the 2. And Jeremy Deering, pretty good return, out to the 21. Deering, a guy that came back from a concussion, didn't play much in the preseason, a very talented guy. They have used him all over the field, much like Mohamed Sanu. Nova started well. Since then, he's thrown an interception and missed a couple guys. So Rutgers will keep it on the ground with Jawan Jamison. Fights his way up to the 27-yard line. Jamison, a 5-yard pickup. He hails from the Bowles School, which is one of the top high schools in Florida. He won 2 straight state titles there.
Trying to settle in and find which back is going to end up being that workhorse running back. They tried a lot of different combinations. A lot of their running backs split the carries. It's just an offense that's just trying to find their way, trying to figure out which combination of players are going to step up.
We'll go right back to Jamison. And he is running downhill now, as they say. Picks up another 4 yards. 53 yards on 11 carries. A big day for Jawan Jamison.
This offense hasn't had much trouble moving down the field, and really between the 20s, they've done a great job of executing their offense, but in the red zone, they've really struggled with some mistakes, and that's been the difference in this game.
4 receivers for Nova. Sanu pushed out by Matt Warwick and friends. Kwesi Mitchell also in on the stop.
What we're starting to see now from the Knights offense is them simplifying their playbook. They're getting their running backs to run downhill, real no-nonsense approach. They're throwing the outside hitch routes, very short, so their quarterback, Gary Nova, doesn't make any more mistakes, but the playbook is starting to shrink a little bit.
2nd and 5. Sanu now has 4 catches, and that's over the head of Deering, and he chases it out of bounds in case it was a lateral.
I think that might have been. That was very close. Watch Nova. I think this ball is actually going backwards. That's a fumble.
And they do march Rutgers back to the 25-yard line, saying that it's a fumble. Third and 18. Nova complete. Harrison out near midfield. A huge play for the Scarlet Knights.
Well, first, you're going to see a great throw by Gary Nova right here, stepping up into the pocket. And the midshipman linebacker is actually doing a pretty good job at Harrison, able to find the seam. But Nova able to hit him in stride, and that's a huge 3rd down pickup.
Still plenty of time. 1:38 left in the quarter. Oh, what a tackle. Mohamed Sanu knocked down by David Sperry, the junior. 5 catches for Sanu, but this one only 3 yards.
Well, that's a way to let somebody know you're out there as the defensive back. Little love tap.
Laid that love tap on a few guys. Nova fumbles it, but it's picked up by Desmond Wynn, the senior left guard. 2 fumbles on this series by Nova. Rutgers calls time. They'll have one remaining. 1:07 left in the first half. It'll be 3rd and 9.
98, Jabari Tuane. Does a good job splitting the double team on the pass rush, getting to Nova and trying to force the fumble, getting his hands up. I've seen a kind of an inconsistent Gary Nova today. He had some really great passes that he's fit right in there and thrown on a rope. He had some head scratcher decisions that have led to a couple of turnovers. Of course, he misses Mark Harrison on a big 3rd down play down in the red zone. Kind of a mixed bag so far today for Nova.
10 out of 14, 120 yards and an interception for the freshman quarterback. Came in 3 games ago, replacing Chase Dobb, the starter, and it's been his show since then. 3rd and 9 for Rutgers. 3 out of 6 today on 3rd down. Nova throwing and well short of the first down. Paul Carazola, the tight end, with the catch. It's 4th down, and Navy will now call time because they'll have almost a minute to work with offensively and try to put some more points on the board.
When you would think a team that runs the ball so much, 56 seconds isn't enough, but we saw the big play capability of Chris Proctor on that last play, springing that long run. So getting the ball back with less than a minute is a good thing for this Navy offense.
Well, Adam, things starting to fall apart for Rutgers. It's Navy that's making the big plays.
And that's what they needed. It was critical that they came in here and turned the momentum. Here, Gary Nova missing Mark Harrison. Harrison really should have caught that ball. Big run right there. And then Chris Proctor does the damage, splitting it right up the gut, outrunning the Scarlet Knight defense. For a big run has really been the difference in this ball game so far today.
Fourth down, Rutgers will punt. Justin Dorner, the junior, kicking away to Matt Aiken. And Navy lets it roll. Takes a Rutgers roll down to about the 8-yard line. So Navy will have a long way to go with 45 seconds left in the first half. The midshipmen got a 16-yard interception return for a touchdown from Chris Ferguson this quarter, and then a 54-yard touchdown run. Chris Proctor, baseball mode.
This is the type of game they wanted to play. The last 2 games, they've gotten down very, very early. They had to come back versus Air Force, and of course last week 28-0 at halftime. So if they get a chance to go up right now at halftime, it'd be a huge boost for Navy.
With this tough field position, they may just run it into the line a couple times here. Down to 30 seconds left in the half.
I think they'd be very happy to go into halftime up by 7 points. It's just critical right now that nothing bad happens, no turnovers, protect the football. There's risk reward just isn't there to try and make something big happen.
10 seconds left in the half. Proctor gobbled up by the entire Rutgers defense, including Kasim Green. And that'll be it for the first half. Rutgers has the option to receive the ball in the second half. They lead it 14-7 on the road. The Mids trying to snap a 3-game losing streak. Rutgers trying to avoid the upset. We will be back with our halftime show and more college football on ESPN3, presented by Sprint. College football on ESPN3, presented by Sprint. All football, no limits, only from Sprint. Navy leading Rutgers 14-7 as we get set to start the third quarter of play. Big crowd on hand here at Piscataway. Here's a quarterback comparison. Chris Proctor hasn't thrown the ball much, but he's done other things.
Well, he hasn't thrown the ball much. He started off with that early interception, but he hit the Rutgers defense with a couple of big plays on his own. And then Gary Nova, he's done some nice things today, thrown some nice in cuts, got the ball on the outside toward the sideline. Had a couple of head-scratching decisions, though, that kind of cost them. Of course, throwing that pick six was one of them.
Along with former NFL safety Adam Archuleta, Dave Popkin with you. Greg Schiano going back to the drawing board here. Maybe some tweaks for the second half for the 11th year head coach of Rutgers, State University of New Jersey, Ken Niumatalolo. He is the most successful coach early in his career at Navy ever. He's been to 3 straight bowl games. The Mids have been to 8 straight bowl games. Overall, really an unprecedented run of success for a service academy.
You've done a nice job, and it kind of started a long time ago, back in 2002 when Paul Johnson came over here. And Coach Niumatalolo was part of that staff and has really learned a lot from Coach Johnson. Done a great job of trying to develop leaders, and you can see they play a very mistake-free brand of football. Very good at taking care of the football and running the ball in that triple option has been great for them.
And that's hard to do because sometimes you're diving into the line, you're pitching it out into the flat. And to be able to play a turnover-free brand of football that way is not easy. Rutgers will be kicking off to start the second half. Justin Dorner, the punter, also handles the kickoff duties. Windy day, winds gusting up to 30 miles per hour today. And Dorner will be kicking into the wind and into that Eric LeGrand sign, believe 52. Grand, a defensive player who was paralyzed last year in the Army game and is still a member of the Rutgers family. He is helping host the pregame, halftime, and postgame shows here. Greg Schiano and the staff have done a great job to keep Eric a part of it. He's made a lot of gains physically. Able to stand up now, able to speak and move his upper body, and he's really worked hard to try to come back from that devastating injury last October.
Well, that's so inspirational. It's just so unfortunate. That you have to remind yourself, of course, me having played football as long as I have, that it's very, very dangerous, and you just hate to hear about things like that.
Darius Staten from his own 14. Staten out across the 30. Great return. Out to about the 36-yard line. Darius Staten, the sophomore from Carrollton, Texas. 22-yard return. This does not look like the Navy team that was absolutely blitzed against Southern Mississippi last week, 63-35. They've been far more poised. They're not missing tackles. They're not turning the ball over a lot.
It was highly critical that they were able to go into halftime with the lead. This offense, this football team isn't built to come from behind. They have a great chance to get some more momentum going in the second half.
Alex Teach, the fullback, to the 39, 3-yard gain for the senior captain. You talked about it, Adam. They're much better, Navy, in the second half. They've outscored opponents 100-66 in second halves this year. G.G. Green. And he was hit hard at the 41. Scott Vallone, one of the Scarlet Knights, there to drop him to the field turf.
Well, they come with a toss play. They're trying to get to the perimeter. But if you take a look at number 48, your right defensive end, Marcus Thompson, doing a good job setting the edge, making Green cut back to the inside where all his teammates are.
Navy just 2 out of 6 on 3rd down. Proctor has a man wide open. Brendan Turner. First down, Navy into Rutgers territory at the 39.
Another example of using their run to set up their play action. Proctor eluding the pressure and finds a wide open Brandon Turner on the bootleg, streaking across the middle of the field.
20-yard catch. Proctor on the keep and dragged down for a loss by Steve Boharnis and Manny Abreu. Boharnis out of another football factory here in the state of New Jersey, St. Joseph Montvale. Boharnis coming off some fine weeks in Big East play. Some Proctor's numbers now 67 yards on the ground. Proctor again dropped for a loss, and this time it's Khalil Glaude, the junior from Tenafly, New Jersey.
Wow, doing a good job now. Right defensive end subbing in for Marcus Thompson. Watch him. He reads up the field and plays very aggressive on Chris Proctor. Chris Proctor didn't have a chance to read that and pitch the football. Aggressive football play by Glaude.
Glaude picked Rutgers over West Virginia on a coin flip. Crazy story. Proctor on 3rd and long. Complete. A Navy first down inside the 20. G.G. Green. 26-yard gain for Green.
Exceptional throw by Proctor. Boharnis has him right in his sights, but he breaks a pocket, doesn't set his feet, and as a lefty to make that throw, put a strike on G.G. Green is excellent.
Tim Tebow-like. He's mobile.
Yeah.
Proctor on the hand to Teach. Dives forward to the 12-yard line. Healthy pickup on first down, and Navy's got it rolling right now.
There's no question that having Alexander Teach back there at fullback has really helped this team. Last week, Delvin Diggs did a good job in relief, but I think just the sheer presence of Teach being back there forces all of the defenders to be aware of him, and that really opens up the rest of this offense.
53 yards rushing on 11 carries for Teach. 2nd and 5. Proctor has time, and it's dropped. Oh, it's in the grasp of Mike Stukel.
Well, this should have been a touchdown. Proctor had Stukel, and Jamal Merrill, number 37, had him in coverage, but for some reason just let him go. There was a seam there. Proctor put the ball right there. That one's got to be caught. Good chance maybe that the sun was in his eyes, but it's an opportunity that Navy would have loved to cash in on.
Third and 5. Proctor lit up in the backfield by Manny Abreu. He had plenty of time.
He's trying to create a lot of plays with his feet, buying some time, but great pursuit, great effort, relentless effort from Abreu to come in there, put a pretty good shot on Proctor. Good job of taking care of the football.
Tackled him for a loss of 2. John Teague on to attempt a 31-yard field goal. He's 4 out of 6 this year. They've had problems with blocks. It is up and good. Navy takes a 10-point lead. 17-7, midshipmen, 10:28 left in the third. We're back. This Rutgers crowd is quiet and stunned. They trail Navy 17-7. 10:28 left in the third. Rutgers came into this game 2-0 in first place in the Big East, coming off wins over Pittsburgh and Syracuse. 4-1 overall. They have struggled today. Navy with a 10-play drive, 50 yards, resulted in a 31-yard Teague field goal. Good kickoff. Deering from the 2. Deering out to the 25, a 23-yard return for Jeremy Deering. Rutgers jumped out to a 7-0 lead on a Jawan Jamison touchdown. Since then, 17 unanswered points.
And that last drive a lot of it was on the arm of Chris Proctor, not necessarily his legs. And the difficult part in trying to defend this option is you have to be disciplined with your eyes, not only for the run game. If you have a man in man-to-man coverage, you have to keep their eyes on them. Twice there in that last drive, Rutgers let Navy get in behind them.
Turner with a 20-yard pickup, Green for 24. And Jawan Jamison jukes his way out across the 35 to the 37-yard line. That's a first down, Scarlet Knights.
A couple times now we've seen Jamison do this. Start to the left, over pursuing defense, and he makes a nice cut back to the right. 2 or 3 times now Jason has had excellent vision to see the pursuit of the defense, cut up field, did a nice gain on the ground.
12 yards for Jawan Jamison, who now has 57 yards for the ball game, and they give it right back to him. Why not? Jamison out to the 44. Matt Warwick on the tackle for Navy, along with Jared Shannon.
I think one of the things that Jamison has done a nice job of today is going downhill. He hasn't danced a lot. He hasn't tried to bounce things to the outside. He's recognizing the open seams in the interior, the midshipman defense, and hitting the hole.
You're right. 63 yards after that last carry. Martinek shifting. A blitz. Nova airing it out for Brandon Coleman. Incomplete. Broken up by David Sperry. And there's a flag down way back by the line of scrimmage. It's holding on the Rutgers offense.
Well, right up the middle. Blitz by Matt Warwick.
Holding. Offense number 23. 10-yard penalty. Complete second down.
That was Jawan Jamison. Had to throw his arm out there to stop a blitzing Matt Warwick. That put pressure. Great job on the outside by David Sperry to break up that pass.
Nova going to the wristband. Call out this next play, which will be 2nd and 14. As Navy accepts the penalty. Teron Pratt in the game at receiver for Rutgers. Pratt in motion. Nova has Pratt along the hash mark, shy of the first down. Got about 10 yards.
Critical down right here for the Scarlet Knights. They have to get something going on offense. They have to convert this third down, keep the chains moving. They need something positive to happen right here.
3rd and 3. Nova just out of the grasp of Joe Martinek, the fullback, and it's a punting situation for the Scarlet Knights.
Well, that's very disappointing. Has to be for Greg Schiano and their quarterback Gary Nova. That was a for sure touchdown. And Martinek, who's been a pretty good wide receiver out of the backfield for the Scarlet Knights, couldn't pull that ball down. Of course, Martinek had a big 60-yard screen pass for a touchdown last week, but that's one that they needed to convert.
Justin Turner punts it inside the 20. And Rutgers right there on the coverage. Nothing doing for Navy. A 36-yard kick with little to no return from Matt Aiken. Navy leading Rutgers 17-7 here on ESPN3. Force in the south end zone here at High Point Solutions Stadium, but Navy the one taking Rutgers to school. 17-7 midshipmen. 8:10 left in the third. First and 10 Navy. Proctor on the flip to Green at the last moment. And that's the beauty of the option. Green takes it out to the 31. Got about 5. Navy's last 3 possessions. Touchdown. Basically kneeled on it going into the half, and then a field goal from 31 yards out. They have scored 17 straight points.
They have to be very happy with their production so far.
Chris Proctor. Rutgers gobbles them up after a gain of 3, which is enough for a Navy first down. Ken Niumatalolo, fourth-year coach here for Navy, a graduate of the University of Hawaii, 10-year assistant for the Mids, and now it's his show. He's looking to get to 500 on the year. Teach absolutely nothing. Scott Malone, Steve Boharnis, Justin Francis, the veteran guys in the middle of the Rutgers defense there for the stop.
That's been one of their strengths for their team this year, and when you talk to Greg Schiano on how you stop the triple option attack, they really feel that it starts up front. That defensive line really has to be active and disruptive, and if you look at teams that have done a great job versus Navy, teams like Ohio State, teams like Georgia Tech, had a lot of success because they've had disruptive defensive lines.
Proctor on play action. Guns it across the middle. And that ball is picked off. Does Rutgers have it?
Well, it's incredible if this is an interception.
Bobbled around. It was on the back of one of the defensive backs. No, it fell incomplete. They say Rutgers has it. That looked like the ball hit the turf. Oh, yeah.
Boy, I'm not sure.
It would be Proctor's second interception, but it looked like the ball hit the turf.
Watch this ball bounce around. This is incredible if it ends up being an interception. Looks like the combination of the leg and the forearm keeps that ball in the air, Dave.
I don't think so. They'll have to review it. Brandon Jones was there on the coverage. Tough.
Well, that's going to be tough. Even if, unless they get some better replay angles, that might be inconclusive. I think this might be our best angle.
It's intended for Brandon Turner. This is the angle.
Boy, I don't think so. I think it's close, but I think the ball just stayed above ground.
Kasim Green looked like he ended up with it, or Kiblahan. This is unbelievable.
At either rate, I don't know if it's going to be conclusive enough, Dave.
It was ruled an interception on the field. Can you get a half an interception apiece?
I think right here, watch the combination of the leg and the forearm. I think keeps that ball up in the air.
You might be right.
You can see the umpire right there. He might have had a good shot. He's running in there from behind.
The ruling on the field was an interception, and I think you're right. think it never touched the field. Pat Kivlahan.
Well, what you like to see in this, you like to see so many red shirts around the football, because if you're not running to the
Ruling
ball.
on the field, there was an interception. It stands, first down Rutgers.
Pat Kivlahan with the interception for Rutgers. His teams have now turned it over 2 times apiece.
Well, that's an incredible interception. As I was starting to say right there, you get that because you're running to the football and hustling. You're not hustling. You're not there to pick up that bounce. Great job by the Scarlet Knights defense.
See if Rutgers can take advantage. Go to the air right away. Nova complete to Sanu. Mohamed Sanu spinning his way down toward the 30-yard line. It's a 22-yard gain for Sanu.
They're going outside, man-to-man out there, Sanu, and they have to find a way to get the ball in his hands. He has to be a bigger playmaker today for Rutgers.
Six catches, 71 yards for Sanu. Jawan Jamison dropped for a loss. Matt Warwick along with Caleb King for Navy. They'll say that Jamison got back to the line of scrimmage, so it's 2nd and 10 for Gary Nova and Rutgers. All kinds of time. Complete to Sanu. Sanu dives forward for a first down. He's down to the Navy 16-yard line.
That's what they have to continue to do. They have to get Mohamed Sanu involved in the game. Watch Gary Nova buy some time, keep his eyes downfield. That's going to allow Sanu to get open in between the hash marks for another big game. He is going to be key for the Knights offense for the rest of the afternoon, whether or not they can get him the ball.
87 yards receiving. That last one went for 16 yards. Less than 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Martinek in motion, and now a flag is down. We've not seen many penalties in this game.
It's number 66. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
That's Andre Civil, the left tackle. Sheepshead Bay High School in Brooklyn. First and 15. Martinek, the fullback, only got a couple down to the 15. Caleb King on the tackle, along with Kwesi Mitchell.
This is part of the field now. We've seen the Knights struggle in the red zone. They have to find a way to be able to come out of here with 6 points.
Nova on 2nd and 9. Whistles one in there. And that is complete to D.C. Jefferson, the tight end, at the 10-yard line. A couple yards shy of the first down. The Navy coaches raved about Jefferson, saying that he might be the best player on the Rutgers offense.
Very athletic tight end. Very big. 6'6", 250-pound. A lot of matchup problems are created when you have a tight end that's that athletic and has that kind of size.
Rutgers 3 for 8 on third down. Nova throws, touchdown! Karan Pratt.
Well, Karan Pratt runs a corner route, covered by Trevez Bush, the free safety for the midshipman. That was a good throw by Nova, throwing the ball right as Pratt was coming out of his break. That was a touchdown drive that the Scarlet Knights desperately needed.
Sansantee completes the extra point. 17-14. Navy leads Rutgers. Karan Pratt, a 10-yard touchdown catch, his first of the year. College football presented by Sprint. Dave Popkin, Adam Archuleta with you. Navy leading Rutgers 17-14. Late third quarter. Rutgers offensive coordinator Frank Signetti had some good play calls early in the game, but the receivers could not hold on to the ball.
The receivers really hurt this team early. There you see Marcus Heron with the drop. Then you see Brandon Coleman with another drop. On third down, Martinick, the fullback, with a drop. But this is the guy that has to get things going. You see Sanu with a nice catch over the middle. And now down here on the goal line, Gary Nova hits his wide receiver, Karan Pratt. But the Rutgers offense wants to continue to be on track. Their wide receivers have to be able to come down with the football.
First career touchdown for Pratt. See what those guys have done. Sanu, 86 yards on 7 catches. 36 of the yards on that drive for Mohamed Sanu. That'll go for a touchback as Staten kneels on it. These teams 2 turnovers apiece, and they've scored 7 points apiece off of those turnovers. Proctor has the most exciting play of the game, a 54-yard touchdown run to pin Niamatalolo. See what they have in store on 1st and 10 from their own 20. Teach the fullback, not much there. Abreu, Loud, Valone. Defensive line for Rutgers.
Well, looks like the Scarlet Knights defense is a little fired up right now after seeing their offense go down the field and score. They had a huge turnover in that last series. Let's see if they can back it up.
Proctor on play action. Good coverage by Logan Ryan. Intended receiver was Doug Furman. 3rd and 8.
Down in distance that Navy is not built for.
Proctor stuffed. A sea of red at Rutgers and another great defensive play.
Watch Cloud, number 13, get around the block of the left tackle. Come down with a design quarterback draw to snuff it out. Cloud has had an exceptional game so far today for the Knights defense.
Called his name a lot in the second half. Pablo Beltran back to punt for Navy. He just got it off. Sanu from his own 29. Good punt coverage by Navy special teams. Trevez Bush along with Bry French. Only a 4-yard gain on the return for Sanu. Rutgers was down 10 moments ago, but Karan Pratt had a 10-yard touchdown catch, and then Navy went 3 and out.
They did that off of turnovers. If you think about the fact that 41% of their points this season have come off of turnovers, you see why those turnovers are so valuable for the Scarlet Knights.
Nova out to Martinet. First down Rutgers, and Joe still on his feet, tackled at the 50. A 16-yard gain for the senior, Joe Martinet.
Little bootleg pass they ran earlier where they sneak him in behind the line of scrimmage here. The Navy defense loses track of him. Watch the nifty footwork by the former tailback. Very good runner in the open space for the fullback. Watch this. Squares up his shoulders. Makes some moves on an over-pursuing defender.
Shades of Brian Leonard, former All-Big East fullback here for Rutgers a couple years ago. On their great 2016, won 11 games. Complete to Jamison. Nova starting to spread it around to everybody. And again, Frank Signetti, the new offensive coordinator, brought in from Pittsburgh when Dave Wanstadt was fired, was a good get for Greg Schiano.
Yeah, they really has allowed Coach Schiano to focus more on the defense because he trusts his offensive coordinator so much. And here in the second half, you've seen Nova create a lot of plays with his feet by breaking the pocket, keeping his eyes downfield, and delivering.
Hands off to Jamison, Bry French, and a couple other mids. Ground Jamison. Matt Warwick also there, got about 1 yard. Coach Schiano, a Wyckoff, New Jersey native, 45-year-old father of 4. Third quarter winding down. Terrific game here at High Point Solutions Stadium. Navy leading the home team Rutgers 17-14. Back with fourth quarter action after this on ESPN3 College Football, presented by Sprint. A sunny, breezy autumn day for college football in New Jersey. Navy trying to win on the road. They lead Rutgers by 3. Dave Popkin, along with former NFL safety Adam Archuleta. Back to live action, Mohamed Sanu, yet another catch. He noses forward to the 31. 5-yard gain for Sanu, the junior. Came in leading the Big East with 9 receptions per game. And he now has 8 today. Rutgers dominating the time of possession. But they had a fumble at the goal line by Savon Huggins. And a number of drops by the receivers. A couple interceptions by Nova. Gary Nova throws complete to Sanu. There's his 9th reception. Down to the 21. First down, Scarlet Knights.
Well, that's the one player I would definitely continue to keep trying to get the ball out to, especially when he's matched up on the outside in man-to-man coverage. That's got to be a matchup nightmare over there for Navy's defense.
Timeout. Rutgers calls time, their first here in the second half. 13:48 left in the fourth quarter. Rutgers down 3 at home. We're back with more college football on ESPN3. 17-14, Navy leads it early fourth quarter. Rutgers with the ball, 1st and 10 from the Navy 21. Gary Nova whistles one out to Mohamed Sanu, his 10th catch of the day. And if he got a yard, which is questionable on that one, that would be his 100th yard receiving in the game. Navy comes in 2-3, losers of 3 straight. Rutgers 4-1. We're at High Point Solutions Stadium in Piscataway, New Jersey. It's college football presented by Sprint here on ESPN3. On 2nd and 9, Nova going deep and over the head of everybody, intended for Tim Wright. Nova now 21 out of 27 throwing the ball, 231 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception.
And he looks a lot sharper here in the second half. The first half, a couple of poor decisions, some drop balls by his wide receivers. But I thought he's done a nice job rebounding. He looks confident, seems to know where to go with the football, and has been very, very sharp.
Nova, all kinds of time, throws, touchdown! Tim Wright, they went back to the same play. A 20-yard touchdown catch, and Rutgers takes the lead.
It's a heck of a throw by Gary Nova. Great protection up front by his offensive line. Watch him step in the pocket. And Matt Brewer tries to elevate to knock that ball down, but Tim Wright right there to cradle that pass. Great job of Gary Nova buying time, throwing downfield.
Sansanti completes the extra point. Rutgers takes a 21-17 lead. They have bounced back with back-to-back touchdowns against Navy.
Well, he knew exactly where he was going. It is a game of inches. Matt Brewer almost knocks down the pass. Tim Wright doing a good job looking the ball all the way in, eyes in the sun, coming down with the 6.
$20-yard touchdown catch for Wright. The junior out of Wall Township, New Jersey, that's down along the shore in Monmouth County. Missed last year with an ACL injury, missed the whole year. No catches the year before that, so Wright just starting to work his way into this Rutgers offense.
They have a lot of high expectations for him. He's a big wide receiver, 6'4", 221 pounds. If he can figure it out and start getting some more experience and getting some confidence, he might be a force for the Scarlet Knights.
Staten and Snelson back for the Dorner kick. Rutgers has gotten touchdowns from Jawan Jamison, Karan Pratt, and Tim Wright. And that's a touchback for Staten and the Mids. Been a very tough couple weeks for Ken Niumatalolo and the rest of this Navy staff. They're not used to it. They're used to winning 8, 9, 10 games a year and going to bowl games. They have lost 3 straight coming in.
They had a great first half, but it seems like so far here in the second half, the Scarlet Knights have seemed to capture all of the momentum. They've been making a lot of plays on defense, of course getting that interception, and on offense, not only have they been moving the ball, but they've been able to capitalize in the red zone, something that they didn't do very well in the first half.
Alex Teach picked up 4 yards on first down, 2nd and 6. And Teach throwing the ball out to Proctor, complete! Proctor still on his feet. into Rutgers territory at the 38-yard line. 38 yards.
Well, clever stuff from the Navy offense. Toss to Alexander Teach, who knew he could throw the ball. Look at that spiral. And Chris Proctor brings it in. Excellent, big play. This offense loves to try and catch defenses off guard in the passing game.
Proctor hands it up the middle. Teach on the dive. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage.
Boy, Alexander Teach didn't even take off his glove to throw that ball.
His first pass attempt this year. Last meeting between these teams also close. Navy won it by 2 back in 2008. Snelson, nothing doing. Manny Abreu, Kasim Green. Rutgers defense has stepped up here in the 4th.
Well, that was textbook on how to play the option by Manny Abreu. Going down the line of scrimmage, keeping his shoulders square. And then once the pitch was made, sprinting down the line of scrimmage to make the tackle on the outside.
They'd probably go on 4th down, but this is a big one. 3rd and 9 for Navy. Proctor, incomplete, flag down, pass interference. Logan Ryan got tangled up with Matt Aiken. There haven't been many penalties, but this is going to be a big one.
Yeah, but it looks like Logan Ryan just got his feet tangled up. I'm not sure how much contact there actually was. I'd be interested to see the replay.
Holding. Defense number 11 on an eligible receiver. 10-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
So just holding. 10-yard penalty.
Take a look. You're going to see Logan Ryan here. Looks like their feet got tangled up. I'm not sure exactly where the hold came in. That's going to be pretty questionable. That's a tight call right there by the ref.
Teach takes the hand. He pulls his way forward down to the 24-yard line. Alex Teach, a workhorse running back, 5-yard gain. Just under his average for the year.
Well, I like what Ivan Jasper has done, putting in some new wrinkles in this offense. They've gone to a no-huddle. You would think, of course, with the massive amount of success they have running the ball, that that's all they do, but they're real sneaky in their passing game. We saw that with that halfback pass just a few plays ago.
Proctor on the pitch to Green, who goes airborne. This is not Air Force, this is Navy, but he picks up a first down.
Well, Deron Harmon does a good job of trying to string it out, but once the pitch is made, he just doesn't have the speed to get out there and try and tackle Green. The trick to trying to defend the option is to try and confuse the quarterback, not give him clear-cut reads. That was a good job by Harmon, but too much speed on the outside.
7th play of the drive. Proctor fights his way forward to the 12-yard line. It'll be 2nd and 6. Proctor has had back-to-back games where he has rushed and passed for more than 100 yards.
How's that for a double threat?
He's been fantastic. 2nd and 7, and Navy calls time. Their first time out here in the second half. They'll have 2 remaining. 8:46 left in the fourth quarter. Navy down 4, but they are driving. We'll be back here on ESPN3. Rutgers has played much better in the second half. They lead Navy 21-17. But Navy has the football, driving, and they are down by only 4 with the ball on the Rutgers 12-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 7 to go. Proctor throwing, incomplete, intended for Matt Aiken. Coverage by Logan Ryan, who is turning into a star cornerback for Rutgers. This drive, 8 plays, 68 yards.
I thought the play calling on this drive has been outstanding. They've done a good job of mixing the interior and the perimeter running game, along with the play action game, and even through that trick halfback pass in. Very creative play calling drive.
3rd and 7. Proctor stumbling, and he is sacked by Manny Abreu back at the 23-yard line. Valone also in on the play. Rutgers defense stout again.
Well, Scott Valone picked a great time to get pressure on the quarterback, watching from his defensive tackle spot, splitting the double team. That's going to force Chris Proctor to his right, where Manny Abreu is going to clean up the mess. Both of those players, especially Abreu, have had excellent second halves today.
41-yard field goal try for John Teague. His longest this year, 54. Yeah, that is a beaut. It's good for Navy. They cut the lead to 1. 21-20. This much time left. Take the points.
Absolutely. It's too early to gamble, especially. They weren't in a favorable down and distance to try and convert, so I like the decision to go ahead and kick the field goal. What an excellent red zone stand by the Scarlet Knight defense, because Navy was rolling down the field. They proved unstoppable, but good job of stepping up and making plays.
Take a look at our Big East scoreboard today. Pittsburgh led early against Utah, and then the Utes came storming back. Cincinnati wins at home against Louisville. That'll be Rutgers' next opponent. They'll play Louisville on ESPN2 Friday night. USF at UConn, tied at 3, late second quarter. And the standings entering today in the Big East. Rutgers in first, number 13 West Virginia next. And then everybody else still in the mix early in conference play. And that standing board is going to look a lot different 2 or 3 years from now.
Much different. Can't wait to see what's going to happen when all the dust settles with all this movement in college football. It's going to be much different, but I'm sure it's going to be just as exciting.
Navy scoring drive, 57 yards. Rutgers has really kept them in check. Navy averages 366 yards a game on the ground. That's first in the country. So far today, 176 on the ground.
Well, I think coming into this game, if you told Greg Schiano that's how many rushing yards Navy was going to have at this point of the game, he'd gladly take it. They've done a great job of stifling this rushing attack.
Touchback. Rutgers will have it at their own 20. So Teague with a 41-yard field goal for Navy, making it a 21-20 Rutgers lead. And that was into the wind as well, gusting up to 30 miles per hour today.
They've had some problems in the past few games with their field goal unit, missing some field goals, of course having 2 huge blocks in the last couple of games.
Gary Nova, 22 of 28, 251 yards passing, entering this drive, and looks like a false start on the Rutgers line.
5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Second time they got Andre Civil.
And that's not the way you want to answer. to start this drive if you're the Scarlet Knights.
Rutgers 4 penalties, Navy no penalties that were accepted in this game. They are the least penalized team in the country again this year. The midshipmen. A little bit of discipline going on down there at Annapolis.
A lot different college experience for these guys than I had when I went to school, I'll tell you that much. You have to grow up in a hurry if you want to be a student athlete at these service academies here.
Joe Martinek lost a couple. 2nd and 12. Rutgers obviously needs some points here to create a little breathing room, but they also want to work clock. Nova bobbled, incomplete, intended for Sanu.
Well, so far, not a very inspiring drive by the Scarlet Knights. You start off with a false start penalty. You have a run that gains a couple of yards, and Gary Nova's lucky that ball didn't slip out of his hands. He almost fumbled it before he threw the incompletion. I feel like as an offense, you have a lead and you want to protect it, but you have to strike while the iron's hot. You've done a good job in the second half of going downfield. I think you still have to be aggressive.
Touchdowns on their last 2 drives. Nova on 3rd and 12, picked off! Intercepted! Caleb King, a senior from Port Orange, Florida. That is a huge turnover. 2nd interception today by Nova.
When we talked to Matt Brewer earlier this week, he said it was a focal point for the linebackers to make sure they got their depth in zone coverage. They were real disappointed how they played coverage against Southern Miss, but so far today they've been outstanding. Caleb King getting in the throwing lane, easy interception again. Gary Nova not doing a good job of reading coverage inside of the hash marks today.
Adam, Rutgers is first in the country in turnover margin, plus 2.8 coming in. They've turned it over 3 times today. The defense swarms again. G.G. Green dropped for a loss. Manny Abreu having one of the best games of his Rutgers career.
Oh, outstanding game today for Abreu. He has really taken to the coaching. Really has played this option very well, playing down the line of scrimmage, not giving Chris Proctor very clear reads and hustling to the football.
Got dinged up on that play, but will stay in. 2nd and 10. Proctor hands to the meal ticket, Teach. And Teach is tackled after a short gain by Scott Vallone. Third and long again. 3rd and 7. Well within Teague's field goal range. Navy 5 for 11 on 3rd downs. Teach on the conservative play call down to the 17. Fourth down brings on the field goal unit for Navy. It's going to be a 34-yard field goal try. Sean Teague.
2 for 2 today, but I would have some knots in my stomach if I was Navy, especially the way the field goal unit has performed over the course of the last few games.
Blocked! Picked up by Kasim Green. Rutgers blocked the kick that would have given Navy the lead. And that is their forte. They do it every year.
That's incredible. I can't believe it. I don't understand the field goal protection here. You watch, there's a short corner over there. There's no wing player, so that makes it easy for a defender to get around that corner, especially to the wide side of the field. And to have another critical field goal blocked for the midshipmen is just unbelievable, the kind of luck they've had on their field goal units. But I think that is a scheme problem. I think that's a protection problem.
Brandon Jones had the field goal block. Here's Jawan Jamison. Picks up good yardage on first down, a 6-yard gain. And time ticking down on Navy now. Rutgers was backed up against it. A very makeable field goal for Teague. And Jones came in from the corner. Second and 4. Jamison. First down Rutgers. Out near midfield. "13-yard gain for Jawan Jamison, who's having his best game as a Scarlet Knight. "17 rushes, 94 yards for Jawan Jamison, the redshirt freshman, and a touchdown to boot. 3.5 minutes left. Jamison again. This time he gets maybe a yard. Jabari Tawani with another tackle for Navy. He's on the Lombardi Award watch list as a top lineman in the country. And here's what Rutgers is doing on offense.
Well, they have to be very, very happy. The running game has been very anemic for this football team, but they felt coming in here with kind of an undersized defensive front that they would have had a chance to get something going, and they've done a great job up front as well as at the running back position.
Navy has 2 timeouts remaining when they want to stop the clock. Rutgers is keeping it between the hashes, keeping that clock moving. Jawan Jamison again. He had a couple. It'll be 3rd and long, and Navy calls time. We'll step aside. 2:34 left in the 4th quarter. Rutgers leading Navy 21-20. Don't go away. The final countdown plays here at High Point Solutions Stadium in Piscataway, New Jersey. 2:34 left. Big 3rd down for Rutgers. They lead by 1. 3rd and 8. Gary Nova. Complete after a tip. Karan Pratt. First down Scarlet Knights. 21-yard catch.
Well, David Sperry had a chance to be the hero for Navy. Watch this ball go right through his hands. Oh, it was a little bit too high. I thought he had a dropped interception, but that ball tipped. And then Pratt with the concentration to bring it down for a big conversion.
Tremendous with the sun in his eyes. Great concentration. 3 catches, 42 yards for Pratt. Here's Jamison. Pounding his way forward to the 22. 7-yard pickup for Jawan Jamison as he goes over 100 for the day. Lost a shoe and everything.
Well, unfortunately, it looks like this Navy defense is severely deflated after the events of the past few minutes, because they've been playing very good defense, but right now, offensively, the Knights are just slicing them up.
103 yards rushing for Jamison on 20 carries. Navy needs a stop right here and then a timeout. And Jamison is dropped for a loss at the 25. So it'll be 3rd and about 6. Navy does call time.
Well, this helps to get that tackle for a loss. good to see Caleb King hasn't given up. He's going out there trying to make some more plays. But it's been a tough 3-game stretch for Navy. And if you think about it, field goals and extra points have played big roles in their losses. And here again, on special teams, it rears its head yet again.
Rutgers would love to make this more than a field goal game. If they could kick their own field goal and make Navy go the length of the field for a touchdown, that is the goal right now. 425 total yards, a season high for the Rutgers offense. That's since 2009. 7-0 when they gain that many yards. Well, here's the story for Rutgers. If they can't pick up the first down here on 3rd and 6, it'll be a relatively long field goal for San Santee. Right now it'd be 43 yards.
It was a tough part of the field. You remember they missed the long field goal earlier in the game. You miss another one right here, you're going to give up some decent field position.
Jamison didn't get it. Bry French with the tackle. So Rutgers will likely attempt a field goal here. We'll see. Ball to 24. It'll be a 41-yard field goal for Greg Schiano. See what the decision is. Play clock down to 16. He's going to let it roll all the way down and then likely call a timeout. Rutgers giving Navy as little time as possible. 30 seconds left in the game. Navy has no timeouts. Rutgers down to just 1. San Santee is 12 out of 16 this year entering this game, kicking field goals.
He's got a big leg. He's going with the wind, so that's going to help him out a little bit. You have to tip your hat for the Scarlet Knights for not giving up and really at the end making the plays necessary to get them to this point so far.
Well, here's how they got here on this drive.
This has got to be deflating. If you take a look on the left side of the extra point team, they don't have a wing player, and that's to the wide side of the field. And Gary Nova getting it done with Sperry, David Sperry tipping the pass. Great concentration by Pratt to bring that ball down, converting on a key 3rd down. They've made the plays late today in order to be in this kind of shape.
Greg Schiano sends San Santee and the field goal kicking unit out there. JT Tartikoff is the holder. The long snapper is Robert Jones. It's a 41-yard try to give Rutgers a 4-point lead. Rutgers takes another timeout. Their final.
Trying to ice his own kicker?
I don't understand. Probably just wanted to see how Navy was lined up defensively, how he wants to protect on this field goal try.
Well, Navy likes to do a lot of different things schematically in their special teams as well as offensively and defensively. But I just think that you're up by 1 point. There's 30 seconds left in the game. Let your field goal go out there and kick the ball. I don't know if there's really much to analyze.
This is out of the box too, but you could just kneel on it. Navy doesn't have any timeouts.
Yeah, theoretically, I guess.
Why chance it? San Santee had it blocked. Navy has it. Another blocked field goal in this ball game. It was picked up by Travis Bush. And Navy will have the football with 24 seconds left.
Boy, that's incredible. I can't believe the Navy blocked this field goal. Watch this. Number 23, Chris Ferguson, elevates. Puts his hand on the football. I know Navy doesn't have any timeouts, but there's some life.
Second huge play of the game for Ferguson, who had an interception return for a touchdown in the second quarter. Crowd is up. Proctor throws complete to Aiken, who gets out of bounds near the first down marker. Out at the 35, 16 seconds left. Navy has to score a touchdown here. They can't stop the clock to get the field goal unit on.
Well, everything has to be at the sidelines right now. If you're the Rutgers, you have to defend the boundary.
Proctor throws it away. 9 seconds left. Ticks down to 8. Navy would need an all-time miracle at this point. Ball on their own 35 with 8 seconds left. Proctor is sacked, and that's the ball game. Rutgers wins it 21-20. Steve Boharness with the sack.
Well, that's the way you put the dagger into the coffin. Defensively, Boharness coming off that right edge, sacking Chris Proctor. Put the game away.
Navy loses their 4th in a row. Rutgers goes to 5-1. A big play for Boharness, the junior from Saddlebrook, New Jersey. Navy from here will be hosting East Carolina. And Rutgers will be at Louisville Friday night on ESPN2. Rutgers got it done in the second half.
They came out fired up defensively, played a much better game. Thought Gary Nova came out, looked very settled after halftime, made some very crisp throws. I think his wide receiving core really helped him out. Didn't drop any passes, made some clutch third down conversion. I thought the running game with Jamison down there really got it done with this big offensive line. Very good half for the Rutgers offensively and defensively in the second half.
Tim Wright had the winning margin, a 20-yard touchdown catch late in the 4th. Brandon Jones with a blocked field goal for Rutgers when it looked like Navy could take the lead with a couple minutes left. What a game. Rutgers wins on homecoming. Well, Adam, it was a pleasure.
Well, both of these teams continuing. Rutgers, the arrow is pointing up, and right now, unfortunately, for the midshipmen, the arrow is continuing to point down, but they made some improvements. Fantastic game.
For Adam Archuleta and our entire ESPN3 crew, I'm Dave Hopkins saying so long from Piscataway, where the final score once again was Rutgers 21 and Navy 20. To see a replay of this entire game, as well as other games on our family of ESPN networks, log on to watchespn.com or download the Watch ESPN app.